In this video, we're going to clarify the difference between the array and array pointers in C. So in C, I can declare an array like this, int array, and we'll have 5 here. And this is an array of 5 ints. And typically we access the individual elements with the index operator. So we'll have array at index 2 is equal to, let's say, 5. But if I just say array, what happens in this case is that we say the array decays to a pointer. So in other words, the array is going to turn into a pointer. A pointer is a memory address. And specifically, this is going to decay to a pointer to the first element in the array. And we can print out that memory address of that first element in the array. We'll have printf array colon, and memory addresses are effectively positive integers that could be very large. So I'm going to use %zu to output a potentially very large positive integer. There is a %p placeholder that's actually intended for pointers. The only thing with the %p placeholder is that it outputs the number as a hexadecimal number. I think it's actually slightly more obvious to show you what I want to show you if I use this %zu placeholder instead. Then I'll have \n for a new line, and then we'll output the memory address of the first element in the array. So we'll save this, compile, and run our program, and we get this very large integer here. And that is the memory address of the first element in the array. Now we can use the AND operator to get the memory address of a variable. What happens if we apply the AND operator to array? So we'll try that out. We'll have printf and array colon %zu \n, and we'll output and array. So what will happen when we apply the AND operator to array, given that if we just have array, it decays to a pointer to the first element of the array? We can save this, compile, and run our program, and we get back the exact same memory address. Now, this might lead us to believe that AND array is the same as array, but there is a difference. So AND array will give us a pointer to the entire array. Array will give us a pointer to the first element in the array. So this gives us a pointer to the first element in the array. This gives us a pointer to the entire array. And where that matters is if we try to use pointer arithmetic. So let's try to use pointer arithmetic with this pointer here. We'll copy this, paste it here, and we'll have array +1. We're going to print out the memory address, the pointer that this gives us. So +1 is going to increase the memory address by the size of whatever this is pointing to. And this is pointing to the first element in this array, which is an int. Now on my machine and with my compiler, an int takes up 4 bytes. So +1 should increase this memory address by 4 bytes. We'll try this. We'll have array +1 here, and we'll save, compile, and run our program and see what happens. And it does work out like that. So this memory address here ends with 008. This one here ends with 012. So that's exactly what we got, is the memory address increased by 4 bytes. Let's try it with AND array. So we'll copy this, paste it here, and we'll try to have AND array +1. Now with AND array +1, AND array we said is a pointer to the entire array. Now the entire array has 5 int values. So +1 is going to increase the memory address by the size of whatever this here is pointing to. This here is pointing to something that has 5 int values. So we should have 5 times 4 bytes for each int value. And this should actually increase the memory address by 20. Let's try it out. So we'll output AND array, and I'll have another \n here. We'll save, compile, and run our program, and we get that 008 is the ending of the first pointer here, and 028 is the ending of this pointer here with AND array +1. So it did increase by 20 exactly. So that's what happens. And that's the big difference between array and array. One is a pointer to the first element in the array. The other is a pointer to the entire array. Now, if we just print out the memory addresses, that might not seem obvious. As soon as we go to use pointer arithmetic, it actually has important consequences. And we'll also see those consequences if we go to work with something like, for example, a 2D array. So let's go over an example using a 2D array. We'll make a 2D array called matrix. And the matrix 2D array is going to be 3 by 5. So 3 rows and 5 columns. The first row will have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second row will have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the third row will have 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. This time, let's look at the pointers we get when we have matrix at index 1 and matrix at index 1. So matrix at index 1 is going to give us a pointer to the first element of the second row of the 2D array. And matrix at index 1 is going to give us a pointer to the second row in the 2D array. Let's print out these pointers. So we'll have printf matrix at index 1 colon %zu backslash n, and we'll output this pointer. And we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll have printf and matrix at index 1 colon %zu backslash n, and we'll output this pointer as well. So we'll save, compile, and run our program. And we see that we get the same memory address here. They're identical. But we have the same situation as before, where really this one is a pointer to the first element, and this one is a pointer to this entire row here. And that difference is going to show up if we use pointer arithmetic. So let's use pointer arithmetic again, and we'll output the memory address when we add 1 to this pointer here. So we'll copy this, paste this here, and we'll have matrix at index 1 plus 1, and we'll see what memory address we get with matrix at index 1 plus 1. And if we save, compile, and run the program, we're going to find that this memory address is 4 bytes more than this memory address here, again. And that's because this plus 1 is going to have the effect of adding another int's worth of bytes to this memory address here. And again, we have a pointer now to this element here, the next element in this row. If we dereference this pointer, we can actually see this. So we'll dereference the pointer and we'll see what it's pointing to. And we'll actually print that out. So I'll copy this, paste this here, and I'll have star, and I'll put this in brackets here. And we're going to dereference this pointer and print out what we get. So we'll dereference this with star and put this all in brackets. And I'll put one extra new line here. So we'll save this, compile, and run our program. And we get that the dereferenced pointer has the value of 6. And that makes sense because matrix at index 1 gave us a pointer to this element here. If we add 1 to that, we're getting a pointer to this element here. And then when we dereference that pointer with the star operator, we get 6. So it all makes sense. Now, this one here, we said is a pointer to this entire row. So if we add 1 to this pointer here, what we expect to get is a pointer to this row here. Let's try that out, and we'll see what we get when we add 1 to this pointer. And I'll copy this, paste it here, and we'll add 1. So I'll add 1 here and add 1 here. So in this case here, a row is 5 ints large because we have 5 columns. So again, we're expecting that plus 1 should increase the value of this memory address by the size of what this is pointing to. And the size of what this is pointing to this time is a row in our 2D matrix of 5 ints. So again, 5 times 4 bytes per int should give us an increase of 20 bytes with this memory address. So we'll save, compile, and run the program. And here we have 64 And then here we have 84. So at this point, this will give us the memory address of this element here because we're pointing to this row now in our matrix. So we should have the memory address of this element here. Now, the only thing is, this is a pointer to this entire row. It's not a pointer to this element, even though it stores the memory address of that element. So what that means is we can't just dereference this pointer and expect to print out 10. We can try that, but it's not going to work. So we'll copy this, paste it here, and let's try dereferencing it and printing out what it's pointing to. So we'll have star, we'll wrap this in brackets, and then we'll have over here star, and we'll wrap all this in brackets. And if we try to print this out, it's not going to work. So we'll save, compile, and run our program. And we don't get the value 10 here. The dereference didn't work as expected. And that's because this here is a pointer to this row here. We could actually get at the value 10 though, using the memory address stored in this pointer here. And that's because ultimately it's the memory address of this element here. So what we could do is create a new pointer variable called pointer. We'll say int star pointer is equal to and matrix at index 1 plus 1. So we're going to store into this pointer here the same memory address as stored in this pointer here. We'll then print out pointer. So we'll have printf, and we'll output the memory address that's stored in the pointer, and we'll also dereference the pointer and print out what it's pointing to. So we'll have pointer colon %zu \n, and we'll output the memory address stored in the pointer by just having pointer here. Then we'll dereference the pointer to print out what it's pointing to, and that should be the value 10 there. So we'll have printf star pointer colon %zu \n, and we're going to dereference the pointer. Now this here really we might think would do the same thing as this here, because we're storing this memory address into the pointer, and then we're dereferencing that same memory address with the star operator. But this time it'll actually work. So we'll save, compile, and run the program, and we notice that pointer stores the same memory address as and matrix at index 1 plus 1. So it stores the same memory address. But this time, when we apply the dereference operator to that memory address, we actually get the value 10. And that makes sense because it stores that memory address. The difference is this here is a pointer to an int. And so when we apply the dereference operator, it actually works. Now, interestingly, we are getting this warning here. If we check with the warning, it says incompatible pointer types initializing int pointer with an expression of type pointer to an array of 5 ints. So the compiler is able to recognize that we're actually mixing up types here. This here has the type pointer to an array of 5 ints. This here has the type pointer to an int. Now we could use a typecast here to get rid of this warning. So here I'm going to have int star, and I'm going to typecast the result of this expression here. So I'm going to wrap it all in brackets. And if we save, compile, and run the program, we get the exact same result as before, but this time the warning has gone away. And it's actually important that I wrap this entire expression in brackets. If I didn't do that, what would happen is the typecast operator would first be applied to this here. Then we would add 1 to the resulting pointer to an int. And instead, we would get a pointer to the value 6 again. So again, and matrix at index 1 is going to give us a pointer to this row here. And then if we take that and we convert it to a pointer to an int with this typecast operator here, which is going to be applied first. This is going to occur before this pointer arithmetic here because of the way operator precedence works in C. we're going to take that memory address and we're going to make it now a pointer to an int. Then when we apply pointer arithmetic here, we're going to be adding the length of a single int to that memory address because it is now a pointer to an int because of this type conversion. So then we'll end up with a pointer to 6 here. So we can save, compile, and run a program. And we do get that pointer is now a pointer to 6. Now, in the case of this here, when we're outputting the dereferenced pointer, where and matrix at index 1 plus 1 is giving us a pointer to this row here. When we dereference this, we get back a memory address. So let's compile and run this again. And here, we get back a memory address. And that's kind of interesting because why didn't the dereference operator just fail outright? So by dereferencing this pointer here, and we said this is a pointer to an array of 5 ints, what we actually got was a pointer to the first element in that array. So we got a pointer to 10 here. So if we apply the dereference operator again, we'll actually get the value 10. So we're going to apply it again here. I'm going to put star here, and I'll wrap this in brackets. And then I'm going to put star here, and I'll wrap this in brackets. So we're going to apply the dereference operator again. So we'll save, compile, and run the program. And we do get the value 10 here. So this is pretty interesting. And this is why pointers can be super confusing, because we took this pointer to an array of 5 ints, and when we dereferenced it, we got a pointer to the first element in the array. Then when we dereferenced it again, we got that actual value of that element in that array. So that's the difference between the array and array pointers in C. Check out portfoliocourses.com, where we'll help you build a portfolio that will impress employers, including courses to help you develop C programming projects.